Brandy Maples was a 29-year-old Florida native whose presence could change the mood of an entire room. Friends and family remember her as energetic, expressive, and endlessly social. Someone who thrived in the company of others, according to her niece, Kayla White. Brandy was always the life of the party, effortlessly drawing people together through laughter, conversation, and warmth. She had a natural ability to make people feel included, welcomed, and comfortable, even in unfamiliar spaces. Brandy's personality was marked by confidence and care. She spoke openly, listened closely, and treated people with a sense of familiarity that made them feel valued. Her laugh was infectious, and her energy was difficult to ignore. Wherever she went, Brandy left behind memories shaped by joy and connection. She was not someone who faded into the background. Instead, she created moments that people remembered long after they ended. At the center of Brandy's life were her 4 children. Being a mother was not just a role she held, but a responsibility she embraced fully. Her children were her priority, and her decisions, time, and energy consistently revolved around their needs and happiness. Brandy's love for them was deep and constant, and those closest to her understood that her identity as a mother defined much of who she was. Brandy was deeply loved by her family and friends, who describe her as caring, loyal, and emotionally present. She offered support without judgment and encouragement without expectation. Her relationships were built on trust and authenticity, and she maintained close bonds with those she cared about. The memories she left behind are filled with laughter, shared experiences, and genuine affection. Before her life became defined by loss, Brandy Maples was known first as a devoted mother, a beloved family member, and a woman whose spirit uplifted the people around her. To those who knew her, Brandy's presence created a sense of belonging. She showed up for people, celebrated their milestones, and offered reassurance during difficult moments. Her life was shaped by connection, compassion, and an enduring desire to make others feel seen, always present. Brandy Maples shared a deep and inseparable bond with her best friend, Tiffany, a relationship that defined much of her personal life. The two were rarely apart, spending long stretches of time together in ways that reflected comfort, trust, and familiarity. Their friendship was rooted in shared experiences and simple routines that brought them closer, from frequent sleepovers to quiet nights spent binge-watching movies. These moments were not extraordinary, but they formed the foundation of a connection built on consistency and emotional safety. One of the ways Brandy and Tiffany connected was through music and movement. They often took long car rides with the windows down, listening to Tupac and their favorite R&B artists. Those drives were a form of escape, reflection, and bonding, offering space to talk, laugh, and enjoy each other's company without interruption. The time they spent together reflected a sisterhood shaped by shared trust and mutual understanding. Beyond Tiffany, Brandy maintained a wide circle of relationships. She was known for being social and approachable, someone who enjoyed being around people and forming connections easily. Friends and family describe her as someone who could bring different personalities together, creating an atmosphere where people felt included and heard. Her ability to connect with others was one of her defining traits. At the same time, Brandy's family acknowledged that she sometimes struggled with sharing time with people who did not always have her best interests at heart. This reality was not framed as a flaw, but as part of her openness and willingness to trust others. Despite this, those closest to her remained protective and deeply connected to her. Brandy's relationships were central to her identity. Whether through close friendships or broader social circles, she valued connection and companionship. These bonds shaped her daily life and left lasting impressions on those who shared time with her. The people closest to Brandy remember her not only for her energy, but for the loyalty and warmth she offered consistently. To her niece Kayla White, Brandy Maples was far more than an aunt. She was a guide, a protector, and a steady presence. Kayla looked up to Brandy with admiration and trust, often turning to her for advice and reassurance. Their relationship was built on openness and honesty, with Brandy making time to listen and respond thoughtfully. She had a way of speaking that made Kayla feel understood, respected, and valued, Brandy played an active role in shaping Kayla's character. She emphasized respect for others, good manners, and self-awareness, not through punishment, but through conversation and example. When Brandy corrected Kayla, it came from care rather than control. Family members recall that Brandy kept Kayla accountable while still lifting her up, reinforcing confidence rather than fear. These lessons stayed with Kayla as she grew older. Kayla saw Brandy as someone who balanced strength and kindness. Brandy encouraged independence, but also reminded her niece of responsibility and self-respect. Their bond reflected mutual trust, and Kayla felt comfortable sharing personal thoughts and concerns. Brandy's guidance extended beyond words. Her actions consistently demonstrated compassion, honesty, and loyalty. After Brandy's death, the impact of their relationship became even more evident. Kayla's grief was accompanied by a determination to honor her aunt's life. Inspired by Brandy's story and the unanswered questions surrounding her death, Kayla chose to pursue higher education. She went on to attend college and graduate. With a degree in criminology, Kayla has stated that her goal is to help families searching for truth in cases like Brandy's. Her educational path was shaped directly by her loss, transforming pain into purpose. Brandy's influence did not end with her life. It continued through Kayla's commitment to understanding crime, accountability, and justice. Through her niece, Brandy's voice and values remained present, guiding efforts to seek answers and support other families living with unresolved loss. Kayla continues to speak publicly about her aunt, hoping awareness and education will encourage compassion, persistence, and community involvement in cases where families wait years for clarity, accountability, and understanding during ongoing investigations and unresolved tragedies nationwide affecting families. On the morning of January 20, 2016, Brandy Maples was found near the intersection of Palomino Drive and Morgan Road in Milton, Florida. She was 29 years old at the time of her death. Authorities determined that Brandy had died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds. No additional details about the circumstances leading to the shooting were publicly confirmed at that time. The discovery marked a sudden and devastating shift for Brandy's family and friends. The location where she was found, a roadway intersection, became the center of unanswered questions. What was known was limited to the facts. Brandy had been shot and her life ended there. How she arrived at that location and what occurred beforehand were not established through publicly available information. As news spread, those closest to Brandy were forced to confront the reality of her death without explanation or resolution. The loss was immediate and overwhelming. Brandy was not only a daughter, sister, aunt, friend, and mother, but someone whose presence had been a constant source of connection. Her sudden death left a silence that words could not fill. Despite the seriousness of the crime, Brandy's murder has remained unsolved. No arrests were announced and no suspects were publicly identified. The lack of answers has persisted since that January morning, leaving the case open and unresolved. For Brandy's loved ones, January 20, 2016, became a permanent dividing line between life before and life after. The facts of that day are simple, yet painful. Brandy Maples was found in Milton, Florida, suffering fatal gunshot wounds. Everything beyond those confirmed details remains unknown. That absence of clarity continues to define the case, shaping the grief and questions carried by those who continue to seek understanding and truth in the years that followed. This moment marked the beginning of a long and uncertain search for answers, as investigators documented the scene while the community struggled to process the loss. From that day forward, Brandy's name became tied not only to her life, but to an unresolved case awaiting accountability and justice for her family and children everywhere. Brandy Maples' murder has remained unsolved since the morning she was found in Milton, Florida. Despite the confirmed cause of death and the known location where her life ended, no one has been held accountable. Over time, the absence of answers has become one of the most painful aspects of the case for her family. The lack of resolution has left them with questions that continue to linger years later. Kayla White has stated her belief that someone in the Milton community knows what happened to Brandy. Her belief is not based on accusation, but on the understanding that violent crimes rarely occur without witnesses, conversations, or shared knowledge. According to Kayla, silence has been one of the most difficult barriers in the search for truth. She acknowledges that fear can prevent people from coming forward, especially in cases involving violence. Brandy's family understands that speaking up can feel intimidating. They have expressed awareness that individuals with information may worry about consequences or retaliation. Even so, they continue to urge the public to share anything they know, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. The family believes that even the slightest detail could help move the case forward. The unresolved nature of the case has left Brandy's loved ones in a state of ongoing uncertainty. Without answers, there is no closure, only the continued hope that someone will choose to speak. Kayla has emphasized that the passage of time does not lessen the importance of truth or accountability for the family. The focus remains on awareness and honesty. They continue to believe that Brandy's case can be solved if the right information reaches the right people. Until that happens, her murder remains an open case, defined by what is known and, more painfully, by what has yet to be revealed. The silence surrounding Brandy Maples' death continues to weigh heavily, reinforcing the family's belief that justice depends on courage, compassion, and a willingness to come forward at last. Brandy Maples' death had a profound and lasting impact on her children and extended family. As a devoted mother of four, Brandy had structured her life around caring for her children, making their needs and well-being her highest priority. When she died, her absence was felt not only emotionally, but in every part of daily life. The loss created a void that could not be filled, altering the family's sense of stability and security. Despite the pain, Brandy's children became a source of motivation and strength for one another. Family members have shared that the children were determined not to let their mother's death be in vain. Although Brandy did not complete high school, her children are doing well academically and have expressed aspirations of going to college. Their commitment to education stands as a reflection of the values Brandy instilled in them through encouragement and care. The family has emphasized that Brandy's influence continues to guide her children's choices. Her love, support, and presence remain central to how they move forward. While grief is an ongoing reality, the family takes pride in the resilience shown by the children as they pursue their goals. Beyond her children, Brandy's death deeply affected her relatives and close friends. A tragic and unresolved loss reshapes relationships and changes how families experience time, memory, and milestones. For Brandy's loved ones, moments of celebration are often accompanied by reminders of who is missing. Kayla White has spoken about how events like this permanently change families. The unanswered questions surrounding Brandy's death have compounded the grief, making healing more difficult. Without clarity or accountability, the family continues to carry both sorrow and uncertainty. Still, Brandy's family remains united in honoring her memory. They focus on supporting one another and ensuring that her children feel loved and encouraged. Brandy's life, particularly her role as a mother, continues to shape the family's identity. Her absence is constant, but so is the determination to move forward with strength, purpose, and hope rooted in the love she gave freely. As years have passed without answers, Brandy Maples' family has continued to make public appeals for information, hoping someone will come forward. Their message is not rooted in anger or blame, but in the need for understanding and truth. They acknowledge that coming forward can be frightening, especially in cases involving violence, yet they emphasize that silence only prolongs pain for those left behind. Kayla White has become one of the most consistent voices advocating for public involvement. She has urged anyone with information, no matter how minor it may seem, to speak up. According to Kayla, even the smallest detail could help clarify what happened to Brandy. Her advocacy reflects the family's belief that community awareness is essential in unresolved cases. The family has asked the public to consider Brandy not as a headline or a statistic, but as a person. One of their statements captures this plea clearly. Think of Brandy as if she was your family member. This request is meant to encourage empathy and remind people that the impact of violence extends far beyond a single moment. For Brandy's loved ones, The case represents a permanent absence felt every day. Kayla has spoken openly about the emotional toll of not knowing who or what caused her aunt's death. She has said that no family should have to live without answers about their loved one. Her words reflect a broader truth shared by families affected by unsolved crimes. Uncertainty can be as painful as loss itself. The family has also emphasized that Brandy did not deserve what happened to her. As Kayla stated, no matter who she was or what she did not deserve this. Their appeal is grounded in humanity rather than judgment. Through these public statements, Brandy's family continues to seek compassion, courage, and honesty. They remain hopeful that someone will listen, recognize the importance of truth, and help bring clarity to a case that has remained unresolved for far too long. Brandy Maples' life continues to be remembered through the people who loved her and the ongoing efforts to uncover the truth surrounding her death. Though her life was tragically cut short, her impact remains present in the memories of family, friends, and those who knew her. Brandy is remembered as a devoted mother, a caring aunt, a loyal friend, and a person whose energy and warmth left a lasting impression on everyone she encountered. Her story reflects not only loss, but also the enduring influence of a life lived. With care and compassion, the investigation into Brandy's murder has remained open, with authorities unable to bring resolution to the case. While limited public information is available regarding suspects or motives, the case is part of a collaborative effort between Project Cold Case and Flagler College. This partnership highlights the continued interest in understanding what happened, emphasizing that Brandy's death has not been forgotten and that efforts to uncover answers remain active. Brandy's niece, Kayla White, continues to play a central role in remembering her aunt and advocating for the public to come forward. Kayla's pursuit of a criminology degree was motivated in part by Brandy's story, and her dedication demonstrates how personal loss can inspire advocacy and action. Through her efforts, Brandy's legacy extends beyond her immediate relationships, influencing awareness, education, and community involvement in unresolved cases. For Brandy's family, the search for truth remains ongoing. While closure has not been achieved, their hope persists that someone with knowledge will provide information that can bring clarity and accountability. They continue to honor Brandy's memory by emphasizing her humanity, reminding the public of the person behind the tragedy and encouraging empathy in approaching her case. Ultimately, Brandy Maples is remembered not solely for the circumstances of her death, but for the life she lived and the love she shared. Her story continues to resonate through her family's advocacy, the memory of her children, and the community that mourns her loss. The search for truth, while unresolved, reflects a determination to honor her life, ensure her memory endures, and maintain hope that answers will one day bring justice for Brandy and her family.